Frozen Shadows, the Dyatlov Pass Incident. In February 1959, 9 young Soviet hikers set out on an expedition to the Ural Mountains. Their goal reached Mount Otorten, a trek that would grant them the highest certification in hiking. The group, led by Igor Dyatlov, was experienced, resourceful, and eager for adventure. The team consisted of 8 men and 2 women, each full of life and determination. They laughed as they trudged through the snow, despite the freezing winds biting at their exposed faces. Zina Kolmogorova wrote in her journal, "The weather is brutal, but our spirits remain high. Tonight we'll camp at the edge of Kholat Syakhl. Tomorrow, we conquer the pass." Kholat Syakhl, translated by the local Mansi people as Dead Mountain, was said to harbor a sinister energy. The Mansi avoided the area, telling tales of cursed spirits that guarded the peaks, but the hikers dismissed these superstitions as folklore. On the night of February 1st, the team pitched their tent on the mountain slope rather than descend to a safer, forested area. It was a decision that puzzled investigators later. Why camp in the open, exposed to fierce winds? Some speculated they wanted to challenge themselves further. Others suggested they had lost their way. As night fell, the group ate a simple dinner of bread and soup before settling into their tent. They laughed and sang songs, their voices blending with the howling wind. They had no idea that these would be their final moments of joy. When search parties discovered their abandoned camp weeks later, the scene was haunting. The hiker's tent was found torn open from the inside. It flapped in the wind, half buried in snow, its contents scattered as if abandoned in panic. Footprints, barefoot and disorganized, led away from the tent. The trail meandered downhill toward the edge of a dense forest. Searchers followed the prints, their unease growing with every step. The first bodies were discovered beneath a towering cedar tree. Yuri Krivonichenko and Yuri Doroshenko lay nearly naked, their skin marred by burns and their fingertips raw from clawing at the tree bark. Nearby, the remnants of a small fire smoldered in the snow. It seemed the pair had desperately tried to stay warm, but the fire's weak flames had offered little comfort against the brutal cold. Farther up the slope, Dyatlov himself was found. He lay face down in the snow, his arms outstretched as if crawling toward the tent. His expression was frozen in terror. Zina Kolmogorova's body was discovered nearby, her face bruised and her hands clutched into fists. The strangest discoveries came days later. Lyudmila Dubinina, Alexander Kolovatov, Semyon Zolotaryov, and Nikolai Thibault Brignoles were found in a ravine, partially buried under snow. These bodies bore horrific injuries. Dubinina's chest was crushed, her ribs shattered as though she had been struck by an immense force. Her tongue and eyes were missing, as if ripped out. Zolotaryov's injuries were just as severe, his skull cracked, his ribs broken, but no external wounds explained the damage. The autopsy reports only deepened the mystery. The injuries were unlike anything the investigators had seen. The force required to crush their bones was likened to that of a car crash, yet no external bruises or trauma were visible. There were no signs of a struggle, no evidence of an avalanche or falling debris. Radiation was found on some of their clothing, adding another layer of confusion. What could have caused such chaos in the middle of the wilderness? Theories emerged like wildfire. Some blamed an avalanche, but the slope was too shallow to trigger one. Others speculated about a military experiment gone wrong. Perhaps a secret weapons test had frightened the hikers, forcing them to flee their tent in terror. The presence of radiation lent credence to this idea. More outlandish theories suggested UFOs. Locals in the region reported strange lights in the sky on the night of the incident. Bright, glowing orbs hovered and darted over the mountain, witnesses claimed. Survivors of other expeditions in the area shared unsettling experiences. One hiker recounted waking in the middle of the night, gripped by an overwhelming sense of dread, as if unseen eyes were watching. To this day, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of history's most perplexing mysteries. The official explanation, compelling natural force, offers little solace to those haunted by the unanswered questions. Some believe the hikers disturbed something ancient on Kholat Syakhl, something that defied human understanding. The mountain's cursed reputation among the Mansi people was not mere superstition, they argue, but a warning unheeded. Today, visitors to Dyatlov Pass speak of an eerie stillness, as if the mountain itself remembers the tragedy. The wind whispers through the trees, carrying the voices of the lost hikers, calling out from the frozen shadows. Perhaps Kolatsiakal still waits, its secrets buried in the snow, daring anyone to uncover them.